Hey guys, I'm back with another get ready with me story time, but it's not really a story time. It's just telling you how I fell down the indie rabbit hole, because that hole is very deep, and once you fall into it, it's over. It's game over. But I'm glad that I did fall down that hole, because I was into more, you know, mainstream traditional brands that a lot of people were talking about online and YouTube and all those type of things, and I bought a lot of, you know, regular mainstream things. But then I started seeing a few people talk about indie brands, and I was like, that sounds interesting. And then when I started seeing the products, I'm like, hey, that's not something that I have in my collection. I would really like to maybe add these extra things to my collection. So I started with a few brands. I bought from them a few things, and then I just started buying more from them. And then later on, I started buying from other indie brands as they were brought to my attention. And again, at the time, I was watching a lot of YouTubers, but when I started watching YouTube, I was mostly watching people that did nails, because that's what I enjoyed doing at the time. I liked doing nails. I went to school to do nails, and I watched a lot of people doing nail art, and that's when I started my nail art channel, which I haven't been on for quite some time, which I need to get back to it, and I'll link it below if you want some nail art inspiration. I do hand painted nail art, and I was watching a lot of those type of videos. Then later on, you know, years later, I started watching more makeup videos, because I did my makeup, but I wasn't really into doing some of the things that, you know, were, you know, makeup people were doing makeup. So that caught my interest to, you know, to learn to do a little bit more things. And then I found out a lot about a lot more makeup brands and things like that. That's when I heard about ColourPop when they were coming out, Makeup Geek. I was using Coastal Scents, things like that back then, and that got me, you know, into more makeup-y things. But at the time, I was watching more nail channels, which a lot of those channels are no longer making content. So it's kind of weird, but they're no longer making content. I just went through all of my subscriptions in YouTube of people that I have subscribed to, and most of those are no longer making videos. So I went ahead and just deleted those, which brought down my subscriptions quite a bit, because that was a lot of it was nail channels. But I started hearing a couple people talk about indie brands, and then I would see them on Instagram, and I was like, this is really, really interesting, and I'd like to maybe, you know, check some of these out. At the time, those indie brands, you know, some of the prices were a little out of my range for like single shadows, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot for a single shadow. But I learned how to, you know, see something that I want and then save for it, or if it came up on a sale or they had a bundle or whatnot, I started saving for those. But the one person that got me into indie was when I started watching Angelica. She was wearing more colorful makeup, which a lot of the people that I watched doing makeup did colorful, but just a pop of color, mostly was neutral. But I would watch those people to get information on different brands, different products, you know, how they worked, things like that. Just mostly information, not necessarily their style of makeup or things like that, but just getting information. Like Emily Noel, I've been watching her for many years, before she had kids, things like that. And she's a basic makeup person. She doesn't wear a lot of color. Every now and then she'll throw in a pop of color, but it's not really that. She's more neutral. But I listen to her because she's very informative. She gives a lot of details. She does a lot of wearing testing and tutorials and things like that. So you can get a lot of information about a product, so you know whether it's something that you would want or not. So I was watching a lot of makeup people for information about products, not necessarily how they wore them or things like that, but just getting basic information. But when I discovered Angelica, she was wearing more colorful things, which I enjoyed because I like colorful makeup, and she got me more into it. I mean, I would wear color, but a lot of times I would wear more neutral, but a pop of color. She got me into more just go in head first, just dive into it and just do it, you know. So I started wearing more color. Watching her gave me a little bit more inspiration. And also she talked about indie brands, a lot of indie brands like Cleona, JD Glow, Devinah, and I was also like Kaleidos. I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? And she would do swatches and, you know, do tutorials and things, and I'm just like, I might have to try to check these folks out. I started out with Devinah and JD Glow. Those were the two that I started with. And the hole just got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Because there's so many now. There's so many indie brands now. But back then there was a handful that you heard about. And then some of the prices, like Cleona prices, are a little high. They're still a little high to me. And they're based in Canada. A single shadow could cost $17. A little bit more than $17, from say $10 to $17, depending on what the shadow is. And I wanted to try their stained glass collection, and I went to the website and I was just like, oh, sir, madam, $17 for one eyeshadow? Okay. So I had to save up to try a few of their stained glass. I ended up doing it after I found out about Cleona. I think I saved up about a year later to try them, and I waited till Black Friday. And even Black Friday, when I wanted to go ahead and, you know, try them out, it was only 10% off. 10% off of $17.50 is not much. Plus, their shipping is $15. So I'm gonna pay $15 for one shadow. Plus I'm gonna pay $15 for shipping. It's crazy. I did end up buying a few. I did also end up buying a bundle from them because they did have bundles in their older, because they used to have the circle pans, and now they have the square pans. So I was like, well, let me just try a bundle. It was on sale. It was like $30 for 6 shadows. And I was like, that's not bad. I'll try it. Try the formula, see if I like it, whatnot. I liked it. Then I decided to go ahead and try a couple of the stained glass ones. And I got a few of those, and I love them. I love them. I would love to get more. I know people who have all of them. All of them. And that's a lot. That's a lot of money in one big palette. That's a college education in a Z palette. It's a lot of money, and I envy those people. You know, that's fine. The few that I have, I'm happy with. And then when I wanted to add more to my collection from Cleona, they came out with the dragon fruit palette. Beautiful palette. I'm like, that's a great way for me to add colors from them to my collection without having to buy them individually. They came in a palette. Beautiful. I'm good with that. And then recently they came out with some 9-pan of their singles of the stained glass, and they put them in like a 9-pan thing. They were $100 and some. No ma'am. You know, maybe if you bring that down a little bit. I don't mind spending money for things I want, but that $100 and some, that's groceries. That's okay. I'll get back with you later, Cleona. We will meet up another time, but right now it's a no. But I started buying from so many brands, and that's mostly what I buy now. is indie brands. I buy, those are the launches that get me the most, is the indie brands. It's not the mainstream brands. When's the last time I bought from a mainstream brand? I can't even tell you. Can't even tell you. Because I have found new indie brands that I'm enjoying. I'm trying ones that are older that people have talked about for a long time and finally getting them into my collection. But the indie rabbit hole is very, very deep. It's very deep. Once you step off the cliff, there's no bottom. At this point, there is no bottom. There's no bottom. So, but I blame Angelica for doing this to me and a lot of people. I'm not the only one. We all blame her. Those of us who watch her and started watching her years ago, they know, because she got us into that, and we're still falling. We're still free falling. There's no bottom at this time, and there's still more indie brands coming out all the time, and some interest me, some don't, but not really like they don't interest me. Is what they're putting out isn't interesting to me, because some of the things they're pulling out I already have. That's another thing. Try to curate what I have already, not trying to duplicate. Not trying to duplicate, making things more unique to what I have than duplicating what I already have. So, but let me know if this woman caused you to fall down that rabbit hole, and if you're still in the hole, because we're all down here together. We all float down here. Okay. So I'm gonna do an eye look using Devinah. One of the first indie brands that I fell into. And I keep my singles in these Morphe palettes. These, I think, are $14 or $12. You can get them on sale. I might get a couple more at Black Friday if they still have them. I think last year or the year before I bought a couple, like 2 or 3, because I have a lot of single shadows, and I think they were $7 a piece, which isn't bad. And they hold, I don't know how much they hold, it doesn't say. Probably 40. You can get in here. And these are my 2 Devinah ones. These are some of their mattes, but I'm into their dual chromes, multi-chromes. This is one of their glitters. Or is it 2? Yep, 2 of their glitters that I have down here. This is a bundle of their multi-chromes. I remember when I got these, I had to save up for them. These were like $60 some just for those 6, and then she came up with some extra ones, 3 extra ones, and I got those too. But I love her shadows. They are beautiful. I want to get more. And last Black Friday, I think it was, I bought a couple of her collections. I bought these collections here. I think I bought all of these collections when there was Black Friday last year, because they had some good deals, so I went ahead and just bought them all. But these are absolutely stunning. These look white, but they all have different shifts, and they are actually beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna do a look using a couple of those shadows. So I'm gonna do one eye, and then we'll come back and we'll do the other eye. All right, so I did one eye. So pretty. Wish you could see the shiftiness of it, but it's so pretty. And if you're one of those people who, you know, if you're in a hurry, you just want to get your eye makeup on, you can just throw in a duochrome and a multi-chrome and blow it out, and you got 2 or 3 different colors on your eyeballs right then and there. You don't have to worry about, you know, blending and all that stuff like that. Just put it on and you're done. But this is 4 colors from Devinah, and I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to start with, I'm not going to take them out of the thing. I will put the name of them here. I'm going to start with this color right here, and I'm just going to take it and just blow it out all over the lid. And I'm sorry if my lighting keeps going in and out dark. If I have a dark background or something, blue makes my makes my background look, makes my face coloring look really darker. I don't know why. I don't know why. I will have to fix that at a later time, so I do apologize. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that color, and I don't need to spray this one because it's very it's easy to pick up. So I'm just gonna take that, I'm gonna actually bring it in a little bit, and I'm just going to see all the lines because I'm older and I have the lines under my eyes and the darkness, but that's okay. Life happens. So I'm going to just take it and just put it all over my lid. And I did not spray it. It did not need to be sprayed because it will apply really nice and smoothly. And I'm using this as a base. I'm going to bring it up a little bit over my crease so you would be able to see it. And then I'm going to blow it out. See, on camera it's looking more blue, but you can kind of see the purple in it too, because to me it looks more purple. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just blow out the edge. It's one thing about a duochrome, because this is blue purple, it's got a little pink undertone to it. When you blow it out, it's going to make a nice gradient. So I'm just going to buff the edge real good and just blow it out a little bit. Not full blown, just enough. I'm just going to take this color here that's in this Almay palette, and I'm just going to use that on my brow bone. You see how simple that is, and you can just do this and just go. But we're going to put another color on top. Oops, that's not it. So I'm going to hold this up so I don't because one of these is a little cracked up here and I don't want it to fall out. So I'm going to use this color right here, and I'm going to go over top of that, and it looks blue but it has purple and pink in it too, so I'm going to use that over the top of this purple. And I am spraying. I am going to spray it, even though it's on the sponge tip. You can still spray it, and sponge tip applicators are great for duochromes, multi-chromes, shimmers, and glitters. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it all over the lid. You can see some of the sparkle from it. And she is crumbly, so that's why I'd rather use a sponge tip applicator and also spray it so it'll not be so crumbly and I don't get fallout. But see, to me, I can see the shift of blue and purple, but it's hard for you to see it, but I wish you could see it. I will try to capture it, but it's so pretty. But we just put that over the purple. On the lower lash line, I'm just gonna use this Milani pencil as a base. And I'm gonna go back into our first, that was good. Go back into our first color, and I'm gonna put that on the outer part. See, it looks more blue to you, but it's beautiful purple to me. Then I'm going to take this color here, which is called Runts, and I'm going to put that on the inner part. And I did spray it, so I'm going to go in here and put that on the inner part. Now what I will also do is I'll put swatches of all of the colors. I'll swatch them on my hand so you can kind of see the shifts. But that's Runts in the front part. Then in the inner part of my eye, my inner corner, I'm going to go in with this color. And again, I did spray it, and I'm going to put it here in my inner corner slightly, and then I've been enjoying bringing it up, so that's how I've been doing my inner corner lately, and then I just bring it up into the other colors. Just like that. So that's what the eye looks like. I'm gonna try to turn down the lighting, see if you can see the shifts at all. See it a little bit, but I would do swatches so you can see the different shifts, but it's so freaking pretty. And I'm gonna do liner and mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back with the finished look. I just put on a little lip. I put on ABH lip gloss in Purple Rain. This was gifted to me by my best friend, and I still use it and still love it. And I just put on some liner and some mascara. Everything that I'm using will be listed in the description box, because I am using things from my project pan for the month of November, so all of that will be listed below. But this look is so pretty and so shiny and very easy to do. So that's one thing about multi-chromes and dual chromes. If you're in a hurry and you want to get things on your eye, just put it on, blow it out, liner, mascara, you're out the door. You don't have to worry about crease, outer corner, blending this, doing that. Just grab and go. So, but those were one of the first indie brands that I fell down and hurt myself with, still hurting myself with. It was Devinah, and then JD Glow, and I have a lot of indie brands in my collection. I have a whole drawer that's nothing but indie brands. If you'd like to see what's in that drawer, let me know. I can do a video on it. But I have recently tried out Give Me Glow, which I'd heard about for years. Sugar Drizzle, love that palette. I got the Milk palette. Lethal, I started with one palette from Lethal that took me to other palettes, and liner, and their liquid shadows are so pretty. I use them for liner. So many different brands. Unearthly Cosmetics, which used to be Alien, because I bought their Serendipity palette when they were Alien, and now they're Unearthly, and I bought their Warms My Blood palette with Aaliyah from Queen of the Damned on it. I have so many in my drawer here, but Devinah was one of the first, because Angelica did a collab with Devinah, and she did like existing colors in like a little singles palette, And that gave me the opportunity to try it because I could try more things in a bundle. So sometimes you have to look for those deals and things like that. You're like, I want to try this, but I don't want to spend the money. But if you see something that will benefit you, because that benefited me, because I got to see more colors and I got to use more things in a bundle. And she also had 2 of their highlighters made into eyeshadow palettes. I mean eyeshadow pans. Instead of, you know, using highlight, you can use it as a highlighter, but she had them make them into smaller pans as eyeshadow, and they are stunning. Why don't I just go ahead and show you that palette. So this is the palette that she did with Devinah. Beautiful packaging. It's just a Z palette. And these are existing shades, so that gave me the opportunity to try out Devinah, see if I like them, whatnot. And these are mostly matte. These are shimmers down here, and these are the 2 that are highlights, but she had them make them into smaller pans. This one is a pink and this one is a green. And I'll swatch those 2 for you. I don't know if you can't see the shift there, but I'll put it on my hand, see if the camera will pick it up. A little bit. Let me turn this light up and see what happens. You can see it better. Yeah. And one is pink and one is green, and I use these as shadows, or you can use them as they were intended, as highlighters. But they are very pretty, very shiny. But this was what got me into indie brands. Well, she got me into indie brands by talking about them and swatching them and seeing how they perform. And then when she said she had this, that was my opportunity to jump off the cliff. And I have not looked back. Again, I have a whole drawer full of indie brands. If you want to see them, that drawer, let me know. I'll do a video on that drawer. More indie brands. Like, I just got inspired to buy Nomad by Miss Dion, who talks a lot about Nomad on her channel. She has a lot of their palettes. She gets them in PR. She does a lot of looks using their palettes, and there's one that I think I might get at Black Friday. Forget which one it is, but I'll put a picture of it here. But I'm thinking about getting this one in the Black Friday sale coming up. I just got the Santa Village palette. I'll be doing a video on that, doing a look with that soon coming. But she got me into Nomad because she talks about them all the time, and she enjoys their formula and whatnot. And when they came out with the Hudson Valley, that was my color story. I got it. I did 3 looks with it. I'll put that link that below that video, and my thoughts about the palette. Beautiful. I've done collab looks with other Instagram people who also have the palette and love it as well. So yeah, so that she got me into that. Again, there's just so many. There's so many. Glaminatrix, I'm still waiting on my Glaminatrix palette, the newest one. I could just go on and on and on and on. Plus the ones that I want to try out, but the hole is deep. The hole is deep. So if you've jumped off that cliff and you're free falling like me, it's a journey, but it's a good journey. It's a good journey. But I thank you all so much for coming and listening to me. Let me know your thoughts about indie brands. And again, if you've taken that leap, if you've taken the leaf, words are hard. If you've taken the leap and bungeed back up, my bungee is still falling. Still falling, still falling, still falling. So I'm free falling. But thanks again for coming. Everything again that's on my face will be listed below, and I will put swatches of the colors that I use so that you can see them a little bit better. Their names and Devinah will be linked below as well. and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. If there's any other videos you want to see, let me know. I'll be glad to do my best to try to do them. More tutorials coming soon, more videos coming soon. So have a great day. Have a wonderful holiday. Thanks again. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.